100th, and well, it's 106 now, but for my 100th subscriber on YouTube, I decided I would do a live question and answer session. Because that's still a really low number, I got some people who follow my channel to go ahead and submit some questions ahead of time. So until we get those questions in, I will be working with this list. Thank you so much for watching and for giving me 101 supporters. It means so much to me. And I hope you guys get something out of my channel and really enjoy it. I work really hard, pretty much on my own, to make every part of my channel funny and entertaining and also educational sometimes. Thank you, Logan. So the first question is a really funny one, and it's, should a customer ideally be drunk or sober for a dance? Now, obviously, if there's reasons why you shouldn't drink, then you definitely shouldn't drink to get a dance. But if you can drink and it's not a big deal for you, dances may be a little more fun if you drink to a point. And then after that point, you become a nightmare for the dancer, and she can't give you a really good dance because you're not following the rules, and you probably won't remember it in the morning either. So definitely there's a sliding scale there, but I would say that a little bit of drunk makes dancing a whole lot better. Number 2 is, have I ever dated a customer? I have, twice. It was a bad idea, both times, but that's not every girl's experience. I know a girl who is just gotten married to somebody that she met in the club, so you know, things happen. Let's see, number 3. Number 3 is, why does the ATM charge like $16 to $18 to bring money out? Now, the club that I'm used to working at is only like $7 in the ATM, which is still outrageous. And the reason why they can do that is because you're trapped, and they know you're trapped. You're not going to like leave and go to an ATM and then come back, probably. Some guys do, actually. So that's why the ATM charges crazy prices. I think those are Vegas prices, ATMs that charge $16 or $18. Number 4 is, can dancers dance at multiple clubs? Now, dancers in most places can dance in multiple clubs. When I worked in New Orleans, they were hired at every club on the strip, and they could just go into whichever one they thought was doing the best that night. The clubs around here, if you go dance at a different club, you're fired. They're really picky about their girls not going to work for anybody else. Let's see. I edited these for rudeness, so I can get so they're the same question, but they're not as ugly, just in case there's dancers watching. Let's see. Alright, so this one is, it's a busy night, I guess. There's one guy who a girl has a really serious spark with but doesn't have that much money, and there's another guy that there's no spark with, but he has a lot of money, which guy does that dancer go to first? And the answer is she goes to the one with the money, always, because it's a job. I mean, she's not there looking for love, she's there looking for money. Let's see. Number 7 is there any dancer I hate? So, I haven't gotten along with every dancer, ever, but, I don't hate any of the dancers. I definitely see them as, comrades, and, they are like sisters to me. Sometimes you get into fights with your sisters, but there's always more love than there is rancor. And if I did really, really hate a dancer, I wouldn't tell you anyways. Number 8 is, do we turn dances down ever? Yes, we turn dances down. If a guy is too drunk, he's been too handsy, he's not following the rules, he's being disrespectful, he's saying ugly things, dancers turn dances down all the time if they feel like they need to. Another question that I got earlier today was, do dancers turn dances down because the guy's not attractive enough? And that one's a no. Dancers don't care how attractive the guy is. Like, maybe that's happened, but that's a broke dancer. So just for anybody who is in this room for the first time, I'm taking questions about stripping and any kinds of questions you have about strip clubs. Thank you, Amanda. And any questions you have about my channel too, if you have any. But I have this list that these guys gave me. Let's see, where were we? Number 9. Can I pick $1 up with my butt? Yes. I don't do this on the regular. This is not part of my repertoire, but yeah. It's not actually all that hard to pick $1 up with your butt. You should try it. Everyone should get out $1 and try it. Number 10 is, why can I touch in Europe and the Keys but get slapped here? So different places have different rules, and you have to follow the rules of those different places. Sometimes there's girls working at clubs with no touch because they don't want to be touched. And when you violate the rules, you're also violating the dancer. And even though she's a dancer, that's assault. Thank you, Amanda. Does the girl ever get off while dancing? I'm sure it's happened. It doesn't happen on the regular. We're not in a sexual headspace generally when we're dancing. We're in a make money, do the job, get on to the next one headspace. But I'm sure it's happened. Okay, somebody wanted to know what were the cuts. Do the girls get half? If not, why dance? So it's different at different clubs. Some clubs, they make you pay a huge house fee and then they don't make you pay anything. The clubs that I've worked at take about 1/5 of what you make on regular dances and do take half on champagne rooms and whatever a champagne room is for other clubs. Does anybody have any questions about stripping, about strip clubs other than the clubs that they've worked at? Anything like that? So what's the next one? I got, is Jamie my real name? Jamie is not my real name, but I'm not going to tell my real name because that would defeat the purpose of coming up with Jamie. This person says, how does some women work as escorts and some have normal second jobs? I mean, everybody's lives are different. So what one person may consider to be necessary to feed their family or whatever is different than what other people do. I do know that a lot of people that I've known that work second jobs haven't worked them for very long because it just becomes too overwhelming. Unless they're making really good money, there's not a point to working all day, getting exhausted, and then making less money when they could be making hundreds of dollars and they're making minimum wage at their other job. So somebody asked me what the VIP rules are for the club that I currently work at, and those rules are: you sit on the couch, you sit still, the girl dances on you, she can touch you, and nobody else can touch. Like, you can't touch them, you can't do anything. If you want to see people touch, you have to get two girls and they'll touch each other. That's actually, I like to tell people that that's actually the best deal in the house, because most of the girls at my work would go pretty hard and they can touch a lot and have a lot more leeway. So if you get two girls for one dance, ideally two dances, then you basically get softcore porn right in your lap. I think that's all the questions that they had for me. I got asked if I had kids today. I don't have kids. I wish I had kids, but I don't have kids. So, if anybody has any questions, hear them now. Otherwise, I'll probably do this again sometime. I need to figure out how to make YouTube work with YouNow, because I don't see it working on YouTube. But is there anything anybody wanted to ask about the channel or suggestions? I know, Amanda, you watch the channel. I'm really enjoying doing it. My goal in starting the channel was to bring people in with comedy. Okay, more videos about the pros and cons. Okay. My idea was to bring people in with comedy and then teach them something while they're there. Because yelling at people and telling them that they're being rapists and that they're assaulting the dancers is not useful. Okay. Amanda, if you don't mind me asking, are you a dancer? Are you thinking about being a dancer? I really love doing the channel. Just thinking about the future. Okay. Cool. Well, do you have any questions about that? To pay for your education. That's what I did. Paid for hospital bills and paid for education. Just make sure you choose a club where they're not going to eat you alive. A lot of clubs don't have a lot of respect for the dancers. And if you work at a club that does have respect for the dancers, it's a really beautiful thing and it's really enjoyable. And you wind up having a lot of fun in addition to that's kind of up to you. Me and a lot of other people are working on the prejudice. It used to be worse. It's still kind of hard. It's important to figure out what your long-term plan is, because if you're going to go into early in education, then that's probably not something you want to do. I don't know if your area has licenses, but where I work, we have to get an adult entertainer's license, and I'm sure somebody could find that if I ever applied for a job, with kids. Feliciano, I can dance, but I'm not going to dance right now. A lot of people have been like, why don't you put footage of you dancing at the back of your videos? And one, I don't have footage of me dancing, at least not good footage. And two, I want to focus on the ideas and I want to focus on what's going on for strippers and strip clubs. I don't want to do sex appeal. I say in a corset. But, so I've talked about how, you can lose your kids. You can lose your job later on. You can lose your apartment. You can lose all kinds of things because people don't like that you dance. So it really is up to you. Is there another way to pay for school? Is it too much to go into debt? It's hard to say. But I'll be doing more videos for beginners too. Any other questions from anybody? Other than can I dance? Amanda, the videos that are for beginners specifically are in the playlist Girls Just Want to Have Funs, like FUNDS. Susan, how I've dealt with negativity from family is by just not telling people. And if people find out and they have a problem with it, then just not having a relationship with that person. So, yeah, and Amanda, there's going to be more of those. I have some ideas written down that are going to become scripts pretty soon. And once it's a script, it becomes a video pretty quickly. But I'm also going to talk about, I have a video that I have almost finished writing the script that talks about all of the expenses of stripping. Because we think of stripping as being this thing that just rains money down on you. But it also costs hundreds of dollars to keep yourself up. Especially if you have short hair and have to wear wigs all the time. Nails, toenails, eyebrows, waxing everywhere, keeping up your physique, paying for makeup. You can't, buy cheap makeup and have it last the whole night, because you're going to be sweating and stuff. So you have to buy expensive makeup. The shoes are expensive, and you break them regularly, so that's a ongoing expense. And then costumes. Whatever club you wind up working at, they could be a bikini club, they could be a gown club, but you're going to want to have multiples. The thongs alone are between like $10 and $15 a pop, and you're going to want more than one. Yeah. And then when it comes to taxes, if you go to H&R Block, which is the best way to do it if you're an independent contractor, in my opinion, you wind up paying, it's almost $400, because you're an independent contractor and it's the most complex system they do. So, and you want to at least claim some of your taxes. Stripping is expensive. Hair care, even if you don't like wear wigs like me, honestly, I think it evens out. Like, my wigs cost somewhere between $4 and like $75, but getting your hair cut and colored and all of that kind of stuff is a whole another ball game. And then straightening it all the time, and then using whatever you need to use so that it doesn't fall out because you straightened all the time. Tanning is a thing some people do. Some places you can't work if you don't tan. Clearly I don't tan. Zamid, do you have a question? Thank you, Timmy. Thanks, Amanda. I wonder a lot about who watches my videos, because I know, based on information that YouTube gives me, that it's about half men and half women, and the men tend to be older, and the women tend to be of stripper age. So I'm trying to make some like tutorial type stuff, and I have a pole in my house, and I might make a really like basic like how to look good on the pole without actually having to learn the pole, for newbies who are just getting started. I love my pole. Even when I don't use it enough, I love it. I miss the pole at work, though, because I can climb. By the time I climb to the top of this one, my feet are just like 3 feet off the floor. Whereas climbing up the pole at work was so high that you could really get stuff done before you hit the floor. Oh, cool! It's neat that you're in Sweden. Do they have the same kind of strip clubs in Sweden? How expensive is school there? Oh, wow. Classy. Hi, Mike. Welcome to my room. Literally my room. Literally my bedroom. Did I miss any? Oh. How often do dancers screw customers is on here. And I'm going to say not that often. Not nearly as often as customers try. Yeah, need money for somewhere to stay and groceries. But it's neat that your school is free. Man, I was in so much debt to my school for a minute. If I hadn't stripped, oh my god, my dad would have had to pay for it, I think. And I think he was about to let me go into loans. But I had hospital bills that nobody was paying but me. I had huge hospital bills, and I paid those all off dancing. I'm down for that. Amanda, that sounds amazing. Let's see. What are some other things I often get asked? Aren't you guys like the happiest country too? Or it's one of the like northern states up there. Northern countries. Oh, how to become a manager at a strip club. So, the only time I saw someone become a manager at a strip club, they started out as either a bouncer or a DJ. And then they were a really good bouncer or a DJ, and they worked their way up. And it was in a really small club. I think in a bigger club, it would have been harder to become a manager. So, instead of just being able to, like, they would have had to do more years of, like, whatever they were doing, bouncing or managing. Oh, Denmark. See? That's really cool. Well, I'm going to stick on here for 5 more minutes. So if anybody has any more questions, any questions at all, no question too big or too small. If you answer a super rude question, or if you ask a super rude question, then I'll probably make fun of you. Not really, but I'll probably... Do the bouncers throw who out? Like people who are acting up? Yeah, if you act a fool, then you'll get thrown out. Like if you're too drunk and you're like trying to get on the stage, then you're gonna get thrown out. If you take pictures of the girls, you're gonna get thrown out. Which is nice. It makes it a safe working environment. Some places they don't do that, and it's a much less safe working environment. Any other questions? Not all clubs have bouncers, but most clubs have bouncers. And if you audition at a club or you interview at a club that doesn't have bouncers, ask them why they don't, and be really wary of working there. Because the bouncers are there for your safety. It may be that it's just such a small club that, you know, the bartender is also the bouncer, or the managers are also the bouncers. But ideally, having dedicated bouncers so that they see more is a really good thing. And the more bouncers they have, too. Any more questions? MJ, you're new. Do you have any questions? I wish that I had been able to... Well, I'll figure it out. What's your question, Jake? Jackie? Jackie. Sorry. I didn't mean to mispronounce your name. Working or studying? Right now I'm working. I do YouTube videos about stripping. And I should be back to stripping itself pretty quickly. But I have a YouTube channel that I do the writing, the concept design for, the editing, the filming, the starring in the video. I do all that, so that's my work right now. No, I got really sick and I had to stop dancing for a while. But I'm guessing within the next 2 weeks I'll be back. But I worked for like 5 years, so it was about time for a break. And I've worked in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clubs. Thank you. I'm doing a lot better now. About 5 years. Susan. Yep. And I've danced in Greenville, South Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, and New Orleans. So, good places. Some of them are good places. Greensboro, North Carolina, not as much. But, anyways, I don't know when I'm going to do another live stream. They make me really nervous. But, a lot of YouTubers do them to, get people to come and see their YouTube. And because it makes YouTube videos. So, I will probably be back, sometime, maybe next week even. Thank you, Amanda. And let me know if you have any more questions. Like, comment on my videos and I'll get back to you. Thank you all.